Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever you find yourself watching this video. Welcome back to Life is Hard, Don't Complain. Kind of excited and interested to see this. I got just got it in. My first Tenable knife. This is a Tenable Bömbur from Hobbit fame, and I'll try to make this video quick today. I'll tell you, I've been looking at the Tenable knives and concept, or concept, depending on what part of the country you're from, recently. You know, they are made in China, and from what I understand, Tenable is the budget brand for concept. Like you can get the exact same knife from concept as Tenable. I think like one I've been looking at and trying to decide if I'm going to get it or not is called Fenrir, and they have a Tenable Fenrir and they have a concept Fenrir, and besides the scales, they look exactly the same. So I don't know, it's sort of like the Wii knives and Civivi. I think Sincut, I think they're all made by the same. Well, just, you know, just feeling the box, this thing is solid. And, you know, if you watch my channel before, I enjoy overbuilt knives. I like knives with some heft, and just out right away, this sucker it got some heft. Yeah, got a little polishing cloth, a little swag on some of their knife making policy. Now, come on, guys. I know this is made in China. Tenable warranty. They spelled it right in the text, but not in the title. So, you know, well, anyway, that's what you get with the knife. You get a polishing cloth, you get a little thing. They have Facebook groups, they have Instagram. I've noticed that with a lot of these Chinese companies, they'll use American designers, but they are pushing social media hard right now. Vosteed is a big one, and I like Vosteed. You know, it's not a big deal. Have your social media presence. Kaiser is another one that does that too. Just, you know, in some American companies, like Montana Knife Company comes to mind. They're great. I have one of their knives. It's not on the desk this morning, but I love their knives. But their price point is in the $300 plus range. You know, this guy was sub $100. So, you know. Okay. So, for right away, first impressions. Green micarta scales. The texture is fairly smooth. It just, I don't know if I like the way this micarta feels, and I'm a fan of micarta, you know. It does have a texture, and that's why micarta is great, because if it's wet, for me, it's not slippery, you know. I've talked about this before. When I have a knife, my biggest thing is usability, okay? If the handle scales don't feel right, if if the ergonomics are not good for weapon retention, because for me these are not necessarily tools, they're weapons, and I sure hope YouTube doesn't flag me for that, and they flag people for less. But so for this, you know, we're starting kind of slow with this. Now, looks like it has some decent ergonomics. Let's just see how it feels. Okay, so ergonomics for this handle are very nice. I mean, again, going with the concept of, or not the concept, but the theme of bulky, overbuilt knives. We're there. I don't have. Well, so I would have liked to have compared, but I don't have anything to compare right now. With that being said, the blade has they call it a black wash finish. It looks sort of like DLC, but there are definite, I don't think you'll be able to see it with this camera. I'll try. Well, you might, right there. There are imperfections in this coating. All over the blade. There are little bumps, and you can tell, you know, right there. I don't know. Let's try to get that. See that. So, okay, so liner lock. And this thing smudges up a ton, okay? But what do I think? Man, this is, and it's interesting to make room. You see that? You see how they filed the shit out of that, and it's not even. See that? Lots of problems with this knife. Let's talk about what I like about it. Okay, if you watch my reviews, I don't bitch about knives. I don't. Let's talk about what I like about it. Okay, if you watch my reviews, I don't bitch about knives. I don't complain. You know, Tenable is the budget brand for Concept. So are we gonna call them out on their budgetness? You know, maybe a little bit, but not. I'm not gonna be super hard on them. I try to be practical about things. With that being said, hold on. Let me use their provided polishing cloth, because this is a smudge magnet, and you know, go one wipe and you'd think you'd make it shinier, and this, oh, gee whiz, this thing just got dull very fast. Interesting. Huh. Okay. All right, Tenable. What do I like? Okay. I like the shape. It is a chunky knife. I mean, the blade thickness at its thickest point here is almost or a little over 1 3/4 inches. I mean, that's for a pocket knife, that's pretty cool. This guy is over 8 inches long. D2 steel. D2 is sort of the go-to budget steel. That's just that, you know, it's tool steel. It's fairly sharp out the box. Jimping is, it's mild jimping. And the way this is shaped, you could choke up on it and do some, you know, if you're a bushcrafter guy, you can feather stick it and stuff. The pocket clip is reversible, but I tell you what, that's one of the things I don't like. Hotspot city on the pocket clip. Now, if you can see, it rests right here, and you may be able to hear that, but that pocket clip moves, and it puts strain right across your palm or my palm, you know. So if I were to utilize this knife, I'd take the pocket clip off, because it's not. I mean, as soon as I picked it up, I went, oh hell, you know, that's going to not be great. So stylistically, I love the way it looks, you know. Fit and finish. The coating on the blade has multiple issues. The liner lock is a solid locking mechanism. I'll tell you, I'm not a fan of liner locks, just not. Cold steel. The triad lock with cold steel has ruined me as far as locking mechanisms, you know. Considered the Microtech with the ram locks and things like that, and man, I've seen how those failed. Regardless what you think of cold steels, the new manufacturing processes and their QA/QC issues, I think it's very difficult to say honestly that the cold steel models have bad locking mechanisms, because that triad, I haven't messed with the Atlas lock yet, but the triad lock is really second to none. So this guy, I believe, is on bearings. Let's see. You know, I think the more premium versions of this have like titanium backspacers. This does not feel like titanium. This feels like plastic, really hard plastic. I don't know. Probably, it looks to be steel liners for the liner lock. I mean, that's a solid action. In all things fair, the budget Bömbur, okay, if Concept made, or Concept, whatever, if they made a Bömbur, which I don't know, I think this was first, I think it was first introduced by, what was it? Midgard's Messer. So I'd like to see the premium version of this knife, because as far as the shape goes, it is a nice hefty knife, which I gravitate towards the style. This one, you know, I don't love the issues with the blade coating. Okay, I don't like the pocket clip. Pocket clip would go immediately. And the micarta just feels, it feels cheap, you know. And I've had budget budget knives with micarta. I have one here somewhere. Let's see. Okay. It's a Kaiser. It's a fixed blade with, you know, not a ton of micarta. And from here, from the camera, it's going to be hard to see any variation. But there's a different, this has some tactile feel to it, which is why I like micarta. Micarta is not smooth. You know, the whole smooth titanium handle scales or aluminum handle scales with no texturing, just smooth. For me, that's that. You know, I love knives. Okay, I've had knives since I was a kid, all kinds. But a knife has to be practical and has to be useful for me. Slick, pretty scales, all that Damascus and the various titanium treatments and stuff like that. That's great for the knife collector. And if you're a knife collector, hey, more power to you. You know, there are worse hobbies to have than collecting knives. But for me, it has to be useful. If I don't find it useful, it goes in a drawer, or I send it back, or I give it to someone who may like to collect, or just doesn't have any knives, you know. So that's that. So final thoughts. Tenable budget, you know. Do they live up to budget? Sure, it's a budget knife. Yeah, I mean, it feels solid. There's no rattling. The liner lock is for a liner lock, it feels nice. I mean, it locks it pretty much in place. You know, I don't worry about the liner lock failing, because it's a chunky, it's a thick liner. I don't know if you can see that. That's just 4-liner lock, pretty thick, you know. I've seen some frame locks that are around the same thickness. So, I give this guy C+, maybe a B- as far as budget knives go. Would love to see a more premium version of it. I'd probably have a completely different take on it, because again, I like the shape and the handle ergos are good, but boo, this pocket clip is garbage. One little hot spot is acceptable to me, but your whole hand feeling it, nah, that's not good. So, anyway, if you're interested in this knife, Tenable had them on their websites. I think they were $70 or so. And if you've never bought for Tenable, they'll give you a discount code, so you can save some, you know. 70 is too much money for this knife, in my opinion. $50 knife, sure. I think that'd be okay. I've seen some Vostids on sale for 50-ish bucks that, in my opinion, blow this guy out of the water with quality. And that's kind of my biggest, besides the pocket clip being just a pain, the QA issues with this knife, okay, for the blade, it's the blade finish, okay, you know, I'll give them a little grace on that. Anyway, I hope this this review and unboxing helps you if you were on the fence about it, you know. As a usable knife, maybe with removal of the pocket clip, get some use out of it, because like I said, the handle ergos feel nice. The shape is good. Blade has issues, but you know, that's okay. But hopefully this helps you be a little more informed about this particular knife, because I did find it interesting. So with that being said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. We are growing, you know. Last I checked, I had 27 subscribers. Woo! You know, some of my videos are getting a lot of play, which is cool. I'm definitely not what you would call an influencer. I'm not trying to be. I just, you know, I like knives, and I like showing people an honest assessment of a knife. So anyhow, well, remember, life is hard. Don't complain. Until next time, take care.